Apple and Facebook are trying to create the next level of social communication with virtual and augmented reality projects. So, in this process, surprisingly, Mark Zuckerberg suggested to Tim Cook an offer to join these two top companies, Apple and Facebook. But Tim Cook refused this offer for an important reason. And with that, Elon Musk was asked about this situation, and Elon explained why Apple and Facebook are collapsing and why these projects won't work. This is an interesting story, so let's explain it. Apple and Facebook are two of the biggest tech giants in the world right now. But with both the companies going at it against one another to win the race to the metaverse, it's safe to assume that the competition is going to get ruthless. With Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg himself declaring war on Apple, this might just be the biggest battle in the world of tech. The metaverse is the next big thing in AR and VR technologies. Run by Facebook, think of the metaverse as Sims, but only with much higher stakes. To put it simply, the metaverse is a virtual world where people can work, play, shop, and interact with each other, just like they would in real life. Only all of your interactions are being watched and controlled by a company, and in this case, the company is Facebook, since it has the biggest stakes in the metaverse as of now. So naturally, with AR and VR technology being used to create platforms like these, all companies want to join in and get ahead in the race, Apple being one of them. So, how is it all going to pan out? In January 2022, Apple announced that the company would not have anything to do with Zuckerberg's metaverse, leaving the whole world in a state of confusion. With Zuckerberg's plans to release his metaverse's own headset to enhance the virtual social media experience, people believed that the headset would be a collaboration with Apple. This news came at the outset of another group of rumors where an all-new industry alliance was taking form, with companies like Microsoft, Sony, Adobe, and even Epic Games hopping on the metaverse bandwagon. This collaborative entity is to be called the Metaverse Standards Forum, and the group of companies, mostly consisting of Apple's biggest competitors, will work towards taking up what they call action-based projects. The idea behind this collective is to come up with different versions of the existing metaverse and create the best virtual experiences humanly possible at the moment, allowing people to live their virtual lives with real implications through assets like NFTs. Now, Apple decided not to be a part of this, leading people to believe that the company just might not be interested in the metaverse space. However, Tim Cook has made it pretty clear that Apple has its own plans for AR and VR. They just don't happen to coincide with Zuckerberg's idea of a united metaverse with all the world's tech giants. Zuckerberg wanted a giant collaboration with Apple, but Apple simply didn't want it. As reported, Apple is developing several AR and VR devices that surround virtual gaming and socialization. Of course, this includes the highly anticipated Apple Glass, which will be Apple's take on normalizing VR headsets that compare with their phones. According to insider information, the idea of a virtual world where users can literally escape reality and live in a world made by corporations such as Facebook is an idea that Apple just doesn't want to entertain. The way Apple wants to use VR is to create immersive gaming and entertainment experiences rather than just turning real-life interactions into virtual ones, like Metaverse. Simply put, Apple still wants its users to spend time in the real world and use their AR or VR technology to keep themselves entertained, instead of being entirely consumed by it. So, Apple won't be partnering up with the Metaverse forums anytime soon, to say the least. If things were to go Mark's way, the two would collaborate and focus on their own specializations, contributing to an overall unified ecosystem. Imagine Apple and Facebook together working on this. That would be crazy. But no, Apple doesn't want to do that. Zuckerberg, on the other hand, took this as a direct invitation for a fight and believes that Facebook and Apple are now in a very deep philosophical competition where the two don't agree on core principles surrounding VR and AR. And while the two are ready to build and sell hardware for the two technologies, it's pretty obvious that they want to head in two very different directions, and that's something that's going to tear their customer base apart. However, Zuck maintains that the metaverse is going to be much more accessible than whatever Apple sells, and that the company is well on its way to announcing their first ever headset by the end of 2022. Zuckerberg also believes that Apple's approach with their foray into VR and AR is just not going to work because the company has only ever built hardware and software to work paired with their iPhones. And while that has worked very well for them in the past, it's just not possible with the metaverse or virtual reality. Zuck also expressed his uncertainty at Apple's plans, claiming that he didn't know whether the company would go for an open or closed ecosystem, leading people to believe that Apple's closed strategy might just be better than the kind of universe that Meta is trying to create, which is just bound to get complicated as more and more people make their way in. But this is where their forum comes in with all hands on deck to solve any problems that the company might run into. As far as the metaverse goes, Zuck wants to go bigger than anyone has ever thought of. He wants 1 billion people to be part of his virtual world, spending hundreds of dollars in virtual digital commerce. Another financial crisis? But will things pan out the same this time around? As far as Meta goes, the company has also taken initiatives to limit its spending and has temporarily halted its plans of building new offices, actually giving up a few properties that it had already acquired. The company is also going to be postponing building new offices for WhatsApp and Instagram, in addition to Facebook, to invest in things that matter and are sustainable for the company in an economic downturn. Sources also say that Meta is going to be stopping hiring for a while and taking measures to save their costs to focus their long-term priorities that include the advancement of the metaverse as a high priority. And Elon Musk reacted to AR and VR development from Apple and Meta, and Elon thinks that these projects won't be successful. Basically, Elon said that Apple and Facebook are wasting their time and damaging their business with these ventures. Elon said, "Sure, you can put a TV on your nose, but I'm not sure that makes you in the metaverse. I don't see someone strapping a friggin' screen to their face all day and not wanting to ever leave. More marketing than reality," Elon explained. Well, that's it for today.